There are no words to explain how amazing my year abroad was. My name is Zahira Sanchez, and after I graduated high school, I was still a little bit indecisive on what I wanted to do with my life. So I decided to take a gap year, specifically a year in Switzerland. This helped me a lot because I started to depend a lot more on myself and trusting my decisions. I got to travel and meet new people, and I got to learn about different cultures. We can start off by trusting yourself. According to a statistic by the USA Study Abroad, in the academic year 2015 and 2016, there were 300,000 Americans studying abroad. Immersing yourself in a new culture helps you develop invaluable life skills such as independence and adaptability. I experienced this firsthand because before I studied in Europe, I hated being alone. But when I started to enjoy the 4 or 5 hour travel rides to Germany or Italy by myself, I started to solely depend on myself. As one starts to slowly come out of that shell and step out of our comfort zones, we get to experience lots of different things, such as traveling and meeting new people. During your time away from your studies, you can go sightseeing in your new city. I stayed in Switzerland, which is a very centric country. Therefore, I was able to visit up to 3 different countries in one day, which sounds outrageous, but it's very easy to move because of the security and availability. According to a Northeastern University study, studying abroad helps you build invaluable relationships with people from all over the world. That's a fact. I have friends from all over the world. Friends in Peru, in Argentina, in Chile, in Germany. I can definitely say I have friends all over the world. Studying in a new country exposes you to increased career opportunities, depending on your field of study. I found my love for chemical engineering while studying in Switzerland. This was because a close friend of mine studied in this area and was able to show me the ropes of what I would study in the future. Having these types of conversations with everyone around you and constantly coming in touch with dozens of new people, I started to learn more and more about the world altogether. A survey done by the National Association of Colleges and Employers in 2019 explains that the main reason students want to study abroad is because of wanting to learn about a different culture. Europe is a rich country full of beautiful architecture and landscapes. There, you can go on hikes, you could go to a museum, you could go to parks. The possibilities are endless. Furthermore, your experience with a different culture allows you to expand your view of the world. One of the most impactful things that happened to me while I was studying abroad was that my peers thought that I lived in Africa and that I didn't own any regular clothes. For me, also a cultural shock was watching a 4-year-old walk alone to school. All these shocks come hand in hand with the fact that we all have different traditions and languages. The easiest way to fully understand them is by committing. You have to learn the language. It is likely you'll learn the language faster because you're speaking it regularly. You'll also be able to pick up slang you wouldn't study in class. Therefore, you will be able to speak like a local. For me, it was a bit different because in school I was taught High German, whereas my friends spoke Swiss German. It was a little hard in the beginning, but at the end, I was fully fluent. Having a diverse language skills can be a big competitive advantage when it comes to jobs because it sets you apart from your monolingual peers. In fact, between 2010 and 2015, the number of US job postings targeted specifically toward bilingual candidates doubled. Furthermore, an article written in the Scientific American by Catherine Caldwell Harris shows that decisions made in your second language are more reason driven than the ones taken in your native language. This is because you are more driven by logic instead of having your emotions take a part of it. Studying abroad is not always rainbows and sunshine. And even though the good outweighs the bad, it is very important to talk about some drawbacks that may happen. The most important one being homesickness. I will not lie, you will get homesick. We all do. But you should remember that you're only there for a limited amount of time. What I did was I made a list of all the places and activities I wanted to do before I left. Also, I made my home feel a lot like home. I did this by hanging my Dominican flag on the wall. Furthermore, I tried to keep in touch with my family and my friends back home by Skyping them. And I tried to create a routine so I wouldn't be stressed. Another thing is that they usually say that Europeans aren't nice. But this is because they're just uncomfortable around strangers, and that's normal. You should just let them get acquainted with you and tell them about yourself. You have to understand the cultural shock goes both ways. The same way you're adapting to them, they're adapting to you. They will slowly figure you out and start to warm up to you. In conclusion, student exchange programs enable students to study abroad at partner institutions. What I can tell you is that every student's experience is different, but the one thing that they all have in common is that that year is very memorable. Your time overseas will teach you so much more than what's all on a syllabus. You get to travel, you get to learn about different cultures, you get to meet new people, you learn to trust yourself more. This gives you invaluable opportunities as well as insight and a global perspective. When the world is your classroom, you'll gain an unparalleled education. What more can you ask for? Thank you.